what is your takeaway on Blackstone raising more than $30 billion for their most recent real estate fund? Go ahead and start us off, Eric. I know this is your favorite question.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? Like anybody that's anticipating an opportunity to buy discounted real estate should be. We've been talking about it. When these opportunities come along, I mean, there's about to be, apparently there was no bids at the foreclosure auction on these 3,000 units in Houston, right? More than likely because the reserve was too high or, whatever the circumstances were. But the reality is that real estate is going to be sold at a discount to somebody at probably 30 cents on the dollar. If you can buy it for 100 million and the debt owed was 250 million and the value is closer to 3, why wouldn't you buy it, right? So someone can buy it, renovate it, stabilize it, and it'd be a great portfolio to own, particularly if you buy it and can stabilize it based on today's interest rates. So why wouldn't they, right? Like they're preparing for a big opportunity. And if this is the tip of the iceberg, like we said on the previous question, they're in a phenomenal position to take down a lot of these assets. So no surprise. I think they're doing the right thing and building a war chest. And I would imagine they're going to be able to take advantage of a lot of these opportunities that come along.
Reserve on that, just for anybody that's curious, was 196 mil. That's where the banks were at on it. All right, RJ, what are your thoughts about Blackstone raising, like 1% of the national debt?
Shout out to CJ for still reading the newspaper. That's pretty awesome. First and foremost, I think just on the tail end of the last question, it's not a surprise that Blackstone's doing this. I mean, they're raising it because of the opportunities that are going to be coming their way. And what I thought it was interesting when I was reading about this is that it's to avoid, they're not going to be buying any commercial or malls or anything like that. It's specific for rental units. So case in point, this multifamily that's, being foreclosed on, I foresee them coming in and just like Eric said, buying up as many units as they possibly can at 30 cents on the dollar, because exactly what Eric said. Why wouldn't they?
Good insight. Clearly, RJ's reading the newspaper as well. All right, CJ, what about you? What are your thoughts on Blackstone coming in?
Yeah, so Blackstone is a conglomerate, right? They're I think top 3 or 4 private equity firms, period. 30 billion is a substantial, obviously, amount of money. They're looking to allocate this towards single family. I think it speaks to the environment. I think it speaks to the market. I think our job as investors is really to pay attention to what companies this size are actually doing and getting some piggyback action on it in terms of, I made a post, I think, about this yesterday. I think opportunity is going to come back to really, push deals and move deals to funds here in the next, probably 12 months or so, as they start to step back in and really start to pick up property. But, ultimately, man, I think this is just the ecosystem doing what it does. A company doesn't become Blackstone if they have, don't have sound analysts, sound investments, sound strategy. And single family assets became an asset class after the Great Recession. And I hate to break it to everybody that doesn't realize this yet, but middle America is up for sale, and the hedge funds want to buy it, and they want to turn this into a rental-based society, and that's just what we're stacked up against at the moment.
All right, Steve, what are your thoughts on Blackstone and their next move?
I'm super excited, right? I mean, it gives me a massive vote of confidence. A couple of friends and I have been talking about, hey, let's get the gang back together. Back when Blackstone was buying a bunch of houses, we were able to create a bunch of quality relationships, and we're having active conversations. Like, hey, you guys did it last time, working for Blackstone, but you were inside those rooms. You're connected. You know exactly all the processes, all the mistakes. Why don't we just get back together and just start a fund together? And so we're actually having active conversations about this, and seeing Blackstone doing this gives us a vote of confidence that we were at least having the right idea. So I am super excited about this, about Blackstone raising all this money.